Okay, so we're ready to go. We've got your room temperature lye should be ready to go. You should have left that overnight, so it should be the same temperature as the rest of the room. And that's all that matters, because as long as it's not too hot, everything else should be pretty good. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is we have to measure out our hard oils, because we're going to have to mix them up, melt them down, mix them up. Make sure your container doesn't have any cat fur in it, like mine. Alright, so first thing, coconuts. So we need 75 grams of coconut. $68, $70. Ooh. Nearly. Ooh, close. $75. Alright. And then we have 100 of the balm. Now, you need to just follow, if you're doing the palm free, then you do not add palm, obviously. Whatever you do, you're going to tear out your lost my words. Wow, that's bad, isn't it? Your scales. Tear out your scales. And we're going to do 100 of the palm. Now when you're doing them all together like this instead of separate containers, try and put it all in one little pile so that if you have to take some out, it hasn't got any of the other oils on it. So 98, 99, 100. Oh no, 99 again. That'll make it 100. Alright, 100 of palm. And then our tallow is 50. Now, I like to take the whole thing out of the container and cut it off the end. I don't know why, this is just what I do. We're doing 50 of tallow. And what didn't I do? What did I not do? I didn't tear it out. $46, $50. Yep, 50. Put that back in there like nothing ever happened. Right, now that's all our hard ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to put those in the microwave and get them melted down. First time microwave, I suggest a minute. Because what we want to do is we want to melt them all until they're in a complete liquid state, but we don't want to make them exceptionally hot, because the more heat we have, the more it has to cool back down again. While we're waiting for that, let's tear that back out again. Measure out our fragrance. We need 15 grams. Oop. So I've got a bit over 15 grams, but that's okay. Those over there. These can go over here. this. Oh, that smells so good. Yeah. Now, as you can see, not much has happened in there. So we'll put it in, this time I'm going to put it in for 1 minute. Alright. Well, there's still not much happening in there yet. Microwaves are funny things, they'll either work really well or not at all. So I'm going to put this in for another 30 seconds. Alright, so we've got a little bit of melting going on here, but not much. I'll give it a little prod with the spatula, but it's not going to do much of anything because it's nowhere even remotely melted. I just prefer to do it in 30-second increments. Okay, so it's getting a bit more melty. Still got a long way to go though, but if you break up the pieces as much as possible, they'll melt down quicker. So just give it as good a smush as you can. Make sure you wipe off everything off your spatula. Another 30 seconds. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This is much better. See if you can break up the remaining bits into smaller pieces, because the heat of what's already melted will melt these down, but if they're big chunks it won't melt through them, but if they're little chunks it will melt them away. So that's kind of what you need to do, to get them as small as possible. I mean, if you want to be really thorough about it, you would cut everything up into little pieces before you put it in the microwave, but I didn't worry too much about that. Yeah, because this has to be melted down to complete liquid state, but we don't want it to be really hot. Although we have a few things that will cool it down, but yeah, the less heat we get out of this, the better. So as you can see now, there's only a few remaining bits, but it's not hot enough to melt it all the way down. Because you can see it's still, I don't know if you guys can see it, I can see here it's still got a cloudy look to it, which means it's not completely melted. So I'm going to put this back in the microwave, but I'm only going to put it in for 15 seconds. Which probably won't be long enough, but I'd rather put it in there for not long enough than too long, because you can always microwave it more, you can't take it away. So, yeah. Yeah, probably could have done the whole 30 seconds. But, like I said, oh, excuse me. Just had salt and vinegar Rice Krispies. Crackers, thingies, I don't know, biscuits, rice biscuits, I don't know what they are. But they always give me hiccups. And my cat helper here, you can see some of him. You can see his tail. Yes. Oh, this microwave's being a pain. does this. Sometimes it'll heat up everything really quickly and sometimes it won't. It's just one of those things. Alright, we'll chuck it back in again because it's not doing anything. But it's always better to do it this way, slowly. I mean, otherwise if that comes out and it's like 60 degrees, none of this stuff's going to cool it down and it'll be too hot. So there you go, that's 15 seconds and that's done. And this method, soaping at room temperature like this, is how I make all my soap. It's not just this beginner's video. I do actually make all my soaps this way. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I'll get it out of there. Alright, so that's all done. So now we're going to put our liquid oils in, which is olive oil and rice bran. And we'll put our goat's milk in as well. So back on the scales, we're going to tear it out. And we have 75 of rice bran. If you want to, you can pour this in a separate container if you're a bit worried that you might go over. I hate it when it's 1 gram off. It's annoying. Whoa. And messy. And then we need to tear that back out again. And we're going to do 200 of olive. Just so you know, mils and grams in viscous fluids like this are not the same. Always work with grams. Do not mix the two because you'll end up making a mistake, because 200 grams of olive oil is not the same as 200 ml of olive oil. And I'll show you an example. This container holds 500 ml of olive oil. Now I have taken out 400 grams of olive oil. There is not 100 grams left in that. So yeah, just be aware of that. Alright, now our goat's milk, remember when we worked out, we need 190 grams of liquid. We've used 70 of water, so to make it up we need 120 grams of goat's milk. So we're going to put the goat's milk straight in here, just like it was another one of the ingredients. Before the lye, before everything. 120. Yeah, I forgot. And also, don't get carried away watching that, because even though it looks really cool, you should be watching down here. You can watch that while I'm doing it. Oh, I love how milk looks when you pour it into oil. It's amazing. Alright, I'm going to put this back in the fridge. Just because it's milk, I don't want to put it back in the fridge. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, because oil and milk don't mix, we're going to mix it. It sounds stupid, doesn't it? Cat. Just so it's reasonably mixed up before we pour the lye in. Now I just want to show you, I don't know why I keep putting it back in the container, to be honest. Alright, so the ambient temperature seems to be about 28 degrees. This in here is actually lower than the ambient temperature. And so we're sitting at 27.5, which is pretty good. That's around about room temperature-ish. I usually soak between 24 and 30, so that's pretty good. Alright, so let's get started, hey? We're going to pour our lye in now. Now all you're going to do, just pour it in gently. Doesn't matter how fast or how slow, just do it gently so it doesn't splash. Scrape it all out, so we want all of it. You don't have to be like ultra pedantic about it, but just get it all out. Now I'm going to set this straight in the sink. You don't have to, but I prefer to. I'm just going to give my spatula a little mix around to get all the lye off for now, because I'm not going to use it straight away. Now with the stick blender, because this is not a lot of mix in this big bowl, I'm just going to tip the bowl up, and then I'm going to do that so that I've got no air bubbles in my blender. Now you'll notice it changes colour. This is because of the goat's milk, and it's starting to warm up. That was another cat. So that's pretty much as much of the mixing as you need to do right there, because we're aiming for emulsion, not trace. You'll find a lot of recipes will tell you to mix to trace. You do not need to, and it gives you less time to do anything if you mix to trace rather than just to emulsion. That's it. That's all we need. We're going to pour our eucalyptus oil that we've already measured out in. Give it a mix around. Just like that. I'm going to take that off. We're going to leave this in here for now. What we're going to do is we're going to pour off some of this. I'm going to pour, that line is also inside the cup as well. We're going to pour to that line. If you're not using one of those red cups, then you can see how much that is. It's that much in the cup. Okay, now we're going to take a plastic spoon. You can use a regular metal teaspoon, whatever, because it's not going in the batter, so it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm a poet apparently. And we're just going to take about that much. Dump it in. That's it. Give that a bit of a stir. Push that in slowly, because sometimes it goes poof. We don't need no poof, because it'll go everywhere and I'll have to clean it up. And then now, one thing to be aware of is this will thicken quicker than that now, because this has now got sugar in it, and sugar will make your batter thicken quicker. Okay, just be aware of that. And it's really hard to not be messy. And make sure you've got a cup or a bowl or something with water in it. Give your mixer a bit of a whiz around in it. Grab one of those trusty paper towels. Clean up. Alright, now the spoon that you used, I'm just going to give that a bit of a mix. But you can definitely see the difference in colours. Alright. So I'm now going to give this a mix around. I'm going to scrape down the sides. Just make sure everything's incorporated. Now the colour that it is now, it will not stay. It will go white. Or a creamy white. It depends upon your ingredients. This will probably go reasonably white because we've got coconut and palm and tallow and olive, all of which go quite white without the added extras of like titanium dioxide. So now because this is still so lovely and thin, we can stand here and play with it all day. Right. So we're just going to pour all of this into your mould, all of it. Scrape out the bowl. I'm sorry you can't see, I'm left-handed, it's a little hard to do this, but you know what scraping out a bowl looks like, I guess. Just going to scrape it all out. Try and keep the spout over the mould so it doesn't go everywhere, because that's what I usually do. Oh, it smells so good. I love eucalyptus. It's such a lovely, fresh, clean smell. I don't know why I don't make more eucalyptus soap. Alright, and that's it. I'll just get that little bit off. Alright, and then I'll take this out of here. Scrape all that off. Put in there. Give this a mix. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this from high and low, right? When we pour from high, it goes in deeper into this. When we pour from low, it sits more in shallower. So you come up really high, pour, come down low, and you can do circles, you can do zigzags, you can do whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Get the spatula, trying to get some down an end there, over closer to the edge, some down in that end. It's a pity it doesn't keep its smell, because it does smell nice. Scraping out as much as I can. Okay. Now I'm not going to do anything complicated with this because it's your first soap. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave it like this. I know it's not that appealing looking, but I think you are more concerned about making your first soap than anything else. You can wipe the sides if you want to. Well, it's just a habit I have. Most soap makers tend to do it. You're going to pick up your mould. Because this is silicone, it's a bit wobbly, so just give it a light pat down. What we're trying to do is eliminate any bubbles there might be in your mix. Because bubbles inside will leave little holes in your soap. I think they add character, and I don't care about them generally, but something you need to be aware of. And that, my friends, is it. That's your very first soap. It's done. Now this will probably take, because it's full water content, it should probably take, I don't know, a good 12 hours to set. I don't know, it's been a long time since I made a full liquid soap, so. But I'll tell you how long it took me when we come back to cut it. So all you need to do now is just leave it on your bench, somewhere where people aren't going to touch it. And that's it. For cleanup, or everything that we've just used is in here, right? Don't attempt to wash this up unless you're really OCD about getting your washing up done immediately. This is oil, and it's going to take hot water and scrubbing, and it's going to be annoying to wash up. Take this, go and put it in your laundry, leave it in there for a day, because then in a day this won't be oil, this will be like that, it'll be soap. And then soap's easy to clean. Leave it for a day, put it in your laundry tub, fill it up with water, leave it soak for a couple of hours, come in, tip the water out, wipe it out, it's clean. Because it's soap. So much easier than washing it up. Alright, well, I'll see you when our soap has set. Our lovely soap. Looks good, doesn't it? Looks good enough to eat. Num num. Alright, we'll see you when we get back. Bye.